Now at 6, snow returns to the 4 states. Doug has the latest on what we can expect. Plus,
the Carthage Humane Society terminates its contract with the city. I'm Samantha Walker, and coming up, I'll have the details on what the future of the shelter looks like.
And the city of Joplin seeks opinions ahead of discussions about public transportation.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Here comes another round. The snow is falling across the 4 states and will continue through the night. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, most of us are getting snow across the region, light snow. There have been some pockets of moderate snow. Heaviest snow is going to be really from Joplin south into northwestern Arkansas, and that's why we have winter storm warnings and the purple winter weather advisories. But all of us will see several inches of snow starting to pile up as we go through the overnight hours. Snow has been really kind of spreading in over the past couple hours, now getting into our eastern counties. But notice these bands coming out of northeastern parts of Oklahoma. So as these bands push through, you get a little heavier snow, then it drops back to a little lighter, then a little heavier as it continues to work through. So we have a little heavier band, Joplin, then one just south of Neosho, one through Miami, a couple through Labette County. So light to moderate snow sticks around. Accumulations starting to get, it's definitely looking white outside Kansas, Oklahoma, and then now pushing into north or southwestern parts of Missouri. Let's go through the night. Bands of snow continue, light to moderate snow at times. I actually think our heaviest, like Joplin South, is going to occur between 10 p.m. and about 3 o'clock in the morning. Bands of snow continue all through the night, starts to taper off on the Kansas side a little bit once we get into the early morning hours. Let's move to about 5:30 in the morning, still light to moderate snow, Missouri, Arkansas, and now we are transitioning over to snow showers, and we'll continue with snow showers through the morning hours, just the accumulation rates definitely are going to drop off. So how much snow are we going to get? I think our northwestern counties, you will see the lowest totals, 1, 2, 3 inches, looking at Eureka, Yates Center, Iola. Everybody else, 3 to 5. Pittsburgh, probably 4. Joplin, 4, 5 inches. Then once you get into southern parts of Newton County, McDonald County, Berry County, Benton County, 5, 6, or 7 inches of snow. So some pretty good amounts across the region. Of course, we're going to have snow impacts on the road. We're going to talk more about road conditions and what's going to happen down the road here in just a bit.
Catching a few. Now you can get the latest road conditions and power outages across the area anytime through this QR code. It'll direct you to links on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, for that information for each of the 4 states in our viewing area. One person has died following a house fire in Pittsburgh early today. Crews responded to that fire on West 21st Street. One person had safely evacuated and was taken to the hospital. Crews managed to bring another person out of the house, tried resuscitation, but that person died at the scene. Authorities have not released the names. The Carthage Humane Society informed the city of Carthage this week that it's terminating its contract with the city. This cuts off city funding to the shelter, and it means the city can't surrender animals to the Humane Society without paying a $200 fee per animal. KOAM Samantha Walker has details on what led to this decision and what the future of the shelter looks like.
The contract termination comes after months-long discussions regarding funding concerns and the number of animals being turned in to the Carthage Humane Society.
When the city brings us 90% of the animals we have and they pay less than 10% of our costs, it doesn't balance out.
According to the Humane Society, in 2024, the city of Carthage paid them roughly $49,000, while the shelter's operating costs exceeded $570,000. According to the mayor of Carthage, Alan Snow, the termination of the contract was unexpected, given that the city and the Humane Society had held several meetings discussing the possibility of increasing their funding.
The last meeting that we had, I asked them to let us know when they make that decision, if they're going to continue operating or not. And I hadn't heard anything back, and then we got the letter on Tuesday.
But Minshew says the last meeting didn't take place as planned when certain city staff members didn't attend. She was told that she would be called to reschedule the meeting.
No one ever contacted us, which was kind of the thing that showed us that the city didn't really care about getting anything straightened out with the Humane Society.
Mayor Snow says the city has been honoring their part of the contract, despite the fact the Humane Society stopped welcoming intakes in October. Shelter staff say this was because they were so overwhelmed with animals, and funding to support their operations became even more necessary.
We were requesting $100,000, which would be basically double what they were paying.
They need to make the decision if they're going to continue operating. And if they are, then we can discuss a contract, but we need to have some assurance of sustainability.
The mayor of Carthage and the Carthage Humane Society say they'd be willing to come back to the table for further contract negotiations. In the meantime, the Humane Society is looking at funding options to keep open, such as fundraisers, donations, and grants. But Minshew says she believes the shelter will be far more manageable now that the city will no longer be bringing so many animals, making it less likely the shelter would have to close.
It's not to make a profit, it's not to, punish the city, it's none of those things. That's not what we want. We just want to be able to take care of the animals.
Reporting in Carthage, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now, anyone surrendering animals to the Carthage Humane Society will be charged a fee. That includes the city of Carthage. For now, the mayor says the city has not been picking up as many lost or stray animals. He says there is a small facility for animals waiting to be reunited with their owners with the police department, but Mayor Snow says it's not a long-term option. City of Joplin held a meeting to answer questions from residents about the relaunch of the Sunshine Lamp Trolley. That service was originally halted in 2022 due to a lack of bus drivers, you might recall. The city has now hired new drivers. The new buses are smaller and will seat 12 to 14 people. The buses will make the same stops as before and will run from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m.
We have a huge population of people that do not have access to transportation, and transportation changes lives. If you can't get to work or to your employment, well, then your life's not very full.
They expect that trolley to be up and running by the first week of February. The New Year's is bringing a new look to the Leggett and Platt Athletic Center at MSSU. Coming up, we're going to take a closer look at where the Lions' share of the funding for that project will go. Plus, the Route 66 Theater in Webb City raises the curtain on this year's Great Wonders Uplift Film Fest. Missouri Southern Board of Governors has greenlit a significant investment in the future of the university's sports and events facilities. They've approved $2.1 million in university funds for a comprehensive overhaul of the Leggett and Platt Athletic Center. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has more.
We're excited about it.
Brian Shedding has been a coach at Missouri Southern for 16 years. And of course, he, along with his students and fellow co-workers, will leave several memories.
And certainly we have a lot of memories of this place, and I think a lot of our alumni have a strong bond to the big track meets we used to host, or the big basketball games or championships won in this building.
Big Championships is right for this 25-year-old building, hosting over 600 banquets, commencement ceremonies, career fairs, and sports. It has even been a refuge for the 2011 Joplin tornado victims. But according to Shedding, not much has changed.
Realistically, it's a worn building. It's 25 years old. These are the original surfaces.
Athletic Director Rob Mowry, along with Shedding, says it's time for a change.
Again, at 25 years old, it was just time. It's time for the building to get those updates, and I'm hopeful that maybe we can modernize and brighten the facility a little bit.
It's at the point where the maintenance needs to be done.
Phase 1 will consist of new bleachers, an indoor track, and a basketball court. Leaders hope this gym will continue to serve the community for the next 25 years.
Nice surface, safe surface for our kids to train on. It'll be, back to what it was when they built Leggett and Platt.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Phase 1 of the renovations will start this summer. The renovations will also have a Phase 2, which will include a sound system, updated restrooms, and a video scoreboard. A little bit later, it's tournament time in the Show Me State. Brock Baldridge has highlights from today's matchup for the opening round of the 2025 Kaminsky Classic coming up in sports.
Plus, the snow continues to pick up. I'm going to have to all. Well, of course, we've been seeing light snow across the region over the past couple hours, and this will continue to pick up as we go through the overnight hours. Nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. You can still see, at least in downtown, the roads are still wet. Parking lot is starting to get snow packed, and as snow continues to pick up through the night, we'll see all those roads getting covered later on tonight. Winter weather advisory in the purple and the pink, which includes Cherokee and Jasper County winter storm warning due to snow amounts a little bit heavier once you get along and south of that I-44 corridor. Look at the bands of light snow continuing to push through. Where you see the darker blues, those are heavier pockets of moderate snow. This is not going to be an event that we get heavy snow. We're going to see rounds of light to moderate snow. So with heavy snow, you can get 1 to 2 inches per hour. This is not the case. This is kind of a 1/4 to 1/2 an inch per hour as we go through the overnight hours. But where you do see the darker blues, light to moderate snow, and then it picks up again once you get south of Grand Lake. But this is going to continue most of the night. Here's our storm system. You can see the snow extends all the way up to I-70, all the way down through Oklahoma, even parts of Arkansas, and then you get into the ice and then rain farther south than that. So strong storm system, but the upper level wave is way down to our south. The surface low is right along the Gulf Coast. So we're just getting a moderate winter event, but it is going to cause some issues. All right, let's go through the evening into the overnight hours. Heaviest snow, I-44 and south, will really start to pick up 10 p.m. until about midnight, and then this is going to last all the way into the morning hours. Snowfall amounts 1 to 3 northwestern counties. Most of us will fall in this 3 to 5 inch band. There's going to be, I would say, the metro 4 or 5 inches, could be some isolated 5 or 6. Once you get into Newton County into northwestern Arkansas, 5, 6, 7 isolated 8-inch amounts once you get into northwestern Arkansas. So moderate impacts of snow. At least we don't have the ice, cold, or the wind. Of course, it's cold, but not Arctic air. Roads, kind of tricky next several hours, and then they're going to be bad tonight into the morning hours, and then they'll go back to tricky once we get into the afternoon. 29 to start, 33 by noon. Temperatures stay in the lower 30s all day long. We do get above freezing by the time we get to Saturday, 37, 38. On Sunday, a few flurries, but look down the road, 50s returning late next week.
A heat wave.
I know, not bad.
Thanks, Jack. Still ahead, Pittsburgh High School holds a signing day for a pair of softball players, and Joplin boys basketball plays in the opening round of the Kaminsky Classic. Brock Baldridge has highlights and more.
The opening round of the 2025 Kaminsky Classic basketball tournament begins today. A handful of boys basketball teams in this year's tournament have a shot to play competition from all around the state of Missouri. Joplin is the host of the annual Kaminsky basketball tournament. Eagles face William Chrisman in front of the entire school this afternoon. Let's start things in the first quarter. Carlos Jones goes in for the easy layup right there to give Joplin the lead. A few minutes later, Fred Taylor misses the three right here, but Carlos Jones is there for the rebound, then turns around, the up and under, a little kiss off the glass. Nice play there. Eagles lead by 5. We continue on in the first quarter. Brecken Green right here makes the running floater on the baseline for 2 points. Next possession for Joplin. Brecken Green is going to fire away from beyond the arc, and that's nothing but net. That cuts the William Chrisman lead down to 1. In the closing seconds of the first quarter, Cooper Williams comes flying across the court for the steal. Outlet pass to Fred Taylor, and he's clear for liftoff. That's a one-handed slam. That wakes up the crowd. Joplin goes on to defeat William Chrisman 66-56. Following the Joplin game, Webb City faces Poplar Bluff in the opening round of the Kaminsky Classic. Cardinals battled and had the lead at halftime, but Poplar Bluff come back to beat Webb City 50-48. In the late game tonight, Carl Junction faces Life Prep Academy out of Kansas City. This game is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Bulldogs are 9-3 on the year, and CJ is currently on a 3-game winning streak. We'll have a score update later tonight. Another round of signing days roll through southeast Kansas. Pittsburgh High School has a couple of members from the softball team who are ready to take their talents to the collegiate level. Megan Johnston, along with her teammate Gabby White, are key members of the Pittsburgh High School softball team. Each individual is making their college decision official this afternoon. Megan is on her way to play the Division I level at UMKC. Meanwhile, Gabby is going to play in the NAIA for Missouri Valley University.
You take the chance and you email those coaches, and I was lucky enough to get an email back from Missouri Valley, and I went up there for a visit and they offered me, and the rest is kind of history.
I kind of just thought UMKC felt like home. It had a lot of the things that I wanted. It aligned with a lot of my goals. The location's good. I feel like it's close enough to home where my parents can come see me, but also far enough away where I'm kind of out of here.
Pitt State women's basketball is a perfect 5-0 to begin conference play. The Gorillas have won their last 4 games, and they aim to continue their winning streak tonight in Wichita. Pitt State faces the Newman Jets tonight. This game tipped off at 5:30, so we are still in progress. At last check, it's halftime where Pittsburgh State leads Newman 36-17. Over to the men's game, Pitt State will try to bounce back from a 1-point loss that they endured last Tuesday to Missouri Southern. The Gorillas will take on the Newman Jets, trying to snap out of their 2-game losing skid. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. We'll have a final score update right here tonight at 10. Well, there's your look for sports. We're back after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to have the latest impacts of the California wildfires on the insurance industry. Plus, as the pharmaceutical industry increasingly turns to computers to make our medicine, we're going to take a look at the role of AI in the future of pharmaceuticals. And many people rely on ice melt chemicals, but are there dangers involved? Those stories and a lot more, of course, it's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. 2 board members of Great Wonder Productions are busy checking in filmmakers for the Great Wonders Uplift Film Festival. The festival kicked off today at Route 66 Movie Theater in Webb City. The films featured at the festival were created by filmmakers in Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. More than 25 films will be featured over the course of the 3-day festival. The festival concludes on Saturday with an award ceremony. The public is welcome to attend the film screenings.
Our culture has really too many examples of unencouraging and depressing content. And so Uplift Film Festival is an opportunity to seek out those stories that are inspiring.
Organizers say the film festival brings in people from out of town and boosts local businesses. If you look out your window right now and it's light enough, you will see snow is falling, and it's falling across the viewing area, Doug.
We have light to moderate snow. You can see the bands pushing through and into the region. Where you do see the darker blues, that is where we are getting some heavier pockets of snow. And some of the roads already becoming slick, and this has just started. We're going to have a light to moderate snow throughout the entire night, and still even snow showers during the morning hours. So some very slick roads for us tonight. Most of us 3 to 5 inches. I really think the metro is kind of going to sit in that 4 to 5 inch range.
That's plenty.
That's a lot
too
of snow,
much. More than enough to make the road slick, for sure. Final sports notes.
Yeah, we are starting day 1 of 5 terrific days of football, starting tonight with the college football playoff. Notre Dame plays Penn State. Winner of that game goes to the national championship game.
Can't get enough football.
No, you can't, even with the winter weather.
There you go. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, please do be careful out there, and let's make it a great evening.